Hey, this is Tyler Devin with another episode of Seven Figure Entrepreneur. Gabe, you want to give a quick shout out, say hi?
What's going on, everybody? We are back, and we are stronger than ever.
Yeah, we actually got a special presentation for you guys today. I like to call them the wild men of affiliate marketing. You probably have never heard two guys like this before. Anytime I've gone to an event, I can generally tell when they're there because the sound has cranked from a 4 to a 10 and genuinely with laughter. So with that said, I want to introduce John Gray and Shukree Abui.
Woo! All right, man. Thanks
What's up,
for that.
guys?
That's a very accurate intro there for sure. You definitely know when we're in the building.
There's no question.
Definitely.
So to get started, a lot of people obviously don't know who you are. Do you guys want to give a brief intro on who you are and what you guys do?
Yeah, sure, man. So our company. I'm John Gray. By the way, I'm the CEO. Shukree Abui is the CTO, Chief Technical Officer. He's more the brains. I'm the beauty. So what we do.
Tell that to the guy at LA Fitness.
Nice inside joke there. I won't even put that out there on the podcast. But anyhow, yeah, man. So we're a data monetization company. So basically what that entails is we monetize data through email primarily. We do have some other ways that we monetize it, but primarily, it's mainly email. And without getting, I guess, too technical, basically, the main thing I would say is having a good source of data, whether it be first party or third party. With us, we have a little bit of both, but you gotta, having good data and having a good platform to mail it on, and then being able to, consistently provide that data with good information, good quality content, and then they'll hopefully love you and continue to open up your emails and click them. So you can continue to make money.
That is the goal.
Internet money.
The internet monies, exactly. That's the whole basis, man. Yeah, I coined that term, by the way. Internet monies.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Patent pending.
Do you have a shirt with it on it or a mug? That's like the true sign right there.
Hey, don't worry, it's coming.
It's coming. Okay.
All
right.
So now I just gotta get the shirt.
Nice. And for everyone out there who doesn't know what data is, it's just email lists, like big email lists.
Correct.
It could be an email list, mailing list, basically just a record of information on someone. Generally for what they're speaking about, it's email. And just do you want to bring some clarity around what you mean about first party and third party?
Sure, man. Yeah, definitely. So first party data being from, not necessarily a site you own, but first party data. Well, for this particular example, we'll just say first party data being, excuse me, your own personal list or a site that you own that you're collecting opt-ins from, and third party data being, for the way we do it anyway, third party data being data or email records that are brokered out. So basically you're purchasing them or you have them on a rev share. In our case, we do mainly rev shares. And one tip is, at least for me, for as long as I've been doing this, the best data that you're going to get normally, it's going to be somebody who has it on a rev share, unless, when it comes to data brokers anyway, and a data broker just being someone who actually, sells data or rev shares data. They collect a bunch of data from different sites, and then they basically lease, quote unquote, those email records to you. So for me, one thing that I would say for us, it's given us the most success. The companies I have purchased my data from, they freaking suck. And I'm not obviously going to call any names, but if you're just getting into this, if you decide you want to get into the email monetization, type of path to make your internet monies, if you're starting out, man, if you're going to purchase it, ask them to give you a test file. Usually that'll consist of maybe, for us, if I mail 10,000 records, I can tell if it's crap or it's good, by the engagement.
Yeah.
Meaning how many people open, how many people click, how many people complain, more importantly. So for me, I would definitely recommend you guys to find a good company that will rev share it with you, because usually they know their data is really good and they don't just want to sell it. They want to get a percentage of your profits, because they know generally that it's good data. So I would definitely recommend finding a good company that will, that will be looking to rev share the data with you. Rev share, that data that they broker out to you.
Cool.
So to basically break down how your business model works from like a 30,000 square foot oversimplified version is you either have a website where you're advertising and people are signing up to receive emails, or you're finding a website that's advertising and you partner with them and they get a bunch of emails and you email on their behalf, and you basically you email over to this data various promotions. And then every time someone, says, hey, I want to sign up for this promotion, maybe it's save money on my car insurance or refinance my house, then you guys basically get a commission, right?
Correctamundo. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yep. And, so for us, primarily, our system works like when they first come in, we primarily, monetize with education offers. So if if you guys listening have gotten an email that's talking about going back to school, you might qualify for a grant, that sort of thing. It's a chance that was us. Really heavy, and we mail it every single day. So we start out with education offers where, in our case, we will mail and send someone to it's kind of like a what would you call it, Shukree? What degree locating those guys are? Type of a site would you call it? It's kind of like they're almost like a broker for colleges. They basically sell the leads that we're sending to them to a back end buyer, a college on the back end, whether it be University of Phoenix or what's one of these other ones, Ashford or something like that. Ashford.
Like a portal.
Yeah, portal. Yeah. That's the word I'm looking for. They're a portal. Yeah. So we'll mail out something education based first, and then from there we just kind of go down the list. But like you said, for the very simplified version of it is having offers that correlate with the demographic of people that you're mailing. So for us, we know our demographic pretty well. Generally, it's lower income, folks that are either lower income, bad credit, and they are not to sound crude. Let's just say this: they're looking for an opportunity of some sort to either make money or get their head above water, basically. Because generally
provide for their families.
Exactly. So we'll do some government grant type of service offers where they're offering like family assistance, stuff like that. High risk credit card type offers where they can actually get a credit card to rebuild their credit. Just stuff that's going to actually provide value for them.
Yeah.
It's generally, that's in a nutshell. That's basically what we do.
Financial resources, basically.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
so you guys are more like a prophet than you are internet marketer. Just people helping people.
People helping people, baby. That's it. Just having to make internet monies in between that.
Yeah, totally.
Just a natural byproduct.
So roughly how many emails do you guys drop a month? Just to give some perspective to the listeners here.
Probably, let's see. Well, 10 million through there, and then probably, a couple 100,000. I mean, what do you think? 15 million? Maybe
20 million,
15 to 20 million. Yeah, 15 to 20 million.
Beating up that inbox. Just beating that shit up. Wow. That's great. That's so funny. So going back here, so we just kind of talked about how you make your internet monies. Trademarked quote there. But how did you guys like get into this? Like, what were you doing? Were you doing like a 9 to 5? Were you grinding it out and just like,
Oh man,
you're like,
yes.
let's go back. Let's do like the way back. Like it's Friday, but let's do a throwback Thursday here and really dig in.
Let's do it. Yeah, man. So, I'm and forgive me, I'm working my head here, but
yeah,
I'll be completely honest. Like last night, I got really, I got real wasted. So you know, I'm getting back. Though I just drunk some coffee. You know, I'm back. You know what I'm
saying? Heads in the game.
Bouncing back. So
when you said wasted, were you celebrating that 420 or were you like actually getting wasted?
No, like just I don't know, man. Shukree was supposed to come to the office yesterday, and he ended up going back home. He had a little stomach bug, so I already bought like some beers and stuff that we were gonna like just have a couple brews after we work.
Yeah.
So he didn't come. So once I picked my son up from school at 3:30, I ended up just drinking all of them, and then I drank the bottle of wine that I had. So I just somehow just ended up getting trashed.
Like someone had to finish it.
Didn't even mean to. It just happened. So
But
anyhow, you know, we you know, a lot of people, well, people who know us, they know this, but you know, me and Shukree known each other since like 3rd grade.
Wow.
I didn't know that actually. That's interesting. That's a long time.
It's 1st grade.
Was it 1st grade?
Yeah, it's 1st grade.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. See, even longer than I thought. Sheesh. So damn, know him longer than I know my wife. So yeah, you know, so we came up together, and what ended up happening was 2010, Shukree actually got into doing AdWords. Like he was when it was the Wild Wild West. Mm-hmm. Right before when Google did all that, like started banning accounts and like getting super serious. He started, what were you doing? Like a couple $100 a day or something, right?
Yeah, it actually was on Yahoo.
Okay.
So I was doing a couple of $100 a day on Yahoo, and I just literally, you know, took like 1 million keywords and load them up, and just I think I was promoting Didn't Verify, like an instant checkmate type of offer, and I was going pretty good, and make a couple $100 a day. And John was right. I started on AdWords, and they banned me after the first 2 days. First time making some decent money. After 2 days, they banned me, and I couldn't get.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I went over to Yahoo and started making some money there. And, you know, that's when me and John kind of linked up. And I actually bought a course, Arbitrage Conspiracy Thinking.
I remember that one.
Yeah. That kind of set the stage for, you know, our PPC, PPC kind of angle that we started out with. And then we met Greg, and he had some stuff too kind of added on to it. But that's how we kind of got started. So
basically you're advertising on, like, I forget actually, on Yahoo, is it on the right hand just like Google was?
Yeah, before Bing, before they sold to Bing, Yahoo had their own PPC. So it was Yahoo, it was Bing, and it was Google. And Yahoo was like just wide open. It was the easiest thing in the world. Wow. And the Arbitrage Conspiracy course was trying to direct everyone to go to AdWords and Bing. And I kind of like, you know, realized what was going on, that they were making all the money on Yahoo. They just weren't telling anybody.
Oh.
So I was
that is the problem with most courses, man. They shift you in one direction while they're doing something else.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. The old magic trick.
Yeah.
The 1-2 switch.
The competition, you know. And they wanted to give value, but they didn't want to hurt their business model. So I read between the lines, and he made a statement saying, yeah, you guys, you know, AdWords isn't the only player out there. And I was like, screw this, I'm going to Yahoo. And, you know, it was the easiest thing in the world. Then all of a sudden, they sold to Bing, and then Bing wanted to be more like Google. So they started instituting all these quality guidelines and things like that. So, so
I think what we did a lot of stuff actually. So we did, remember we were doing, we were trying to do e-commerce store.
Right.
Like we were trying to do, God, what was it? We bought I don't even remember the name of it now. Something Blueprint. But anyway,
they're all something Blueprint.
Yeah. So exactly. They put out good quality content, but it's like, oh man, we were trying to sell like, shit, I can't even remember. It was stupid. It was like trying to do, it was SEO based and all, and I'm like, man, this freaking sucks. Like we didn't make a dime. Yeah. You know, like not a freaking no sales whatsoever. So then we got into somehow I stumbled on the Greg. Right. And then we got into mobile marketing first somehow. Remember? was it mobile? Remember we did mobile. So I don't remember how we got on the mobile, but we started doing mobile. We did maybe Bang first.
Yeah, then we did Bang first because when you found Greg, his strategy was very similar to what I was doing with Yahoo. And so we started doing well with Bang, and then we moved on to mobile around the same time because we were having issues like getting accounts.
Yeah, getting accounts. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, when we were doing Bang, God, dude, we were doing skin, skin trials, which is just like skin creams. Basically, someone's willing to pay you, let's say, $35-$40 just to get someone to sign up for a trial, quote unquote, of their product. So they'll charge the consumer like a $4.95 shipping charge, and then they'll rebill that consumer like 7-10 days later for like $69.99, and then they continue to rebill them until they cancel. So we were doing those rebill type offers and just crushing it.
Yeah.
Like 5K a day type stuff.
Nice.
And just was crushing it. Then we couldn't get more accounts because back then it was just me and him doing everything. So we were actually making the accounts, getting calls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, we were doing everything ourselves. So, and that's actually a good point I'll talk about when we get there as far as our shift, like what really took us to the next level. But so back then we were doing everything ourselves. We couldn't get any more accounts. So then somehow we stumbled on the mobile marketing.
I think you're actually right. We did mobile first.
We did, right?
Because I remember, and Greg recommended in his course that the way to start out is just ask your affiliate manager what's working,
yeah,
and what's hot.
With Mundo.
Do you guys want to explain what affiliate manager is?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead. I'll let you.
I'm just you go ahead.
Okay, all right. So yeah, affiliate, when you sign up to, let's just say, I'm gonna keep this very, very bird's eye view type thing, kind of simple. So when you become an affiliate, it's just, I'm sure you guys have already let your listeners know, but when you become an affiliate, basically you're just either sending viewers to someone's page to fill out, a contact to get their contact information, or you're selling something on someone else's behalf, basically, when you're an affiliate. So in order to get access to those different offers and products, you sign up to an affiliate network. And inside of that affiliate network, the person who you contact to get your offer set up or to talk to about payments and stuff like that is your affiliate manager. So, excuse me. So yeah. Sorry. That's what an affiliate manager is. Now where are we going from there? What are we talking about?
So Greg told you guys to contact your affiliate manager and ask him what offers were working?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So we were at Mondo Media and we asked him like, hey man, what's hot right now? And he actually told Shukree, he's like, oh, mobile. He's like, you got any mobile traffic? Shukree was like, well, yeah, I got plenty of it.
I do now.
Yeah, we're like, yeah. He's like, all right, here you go. Here's these landers. Use this creative. Here's some different traffic networks you can run on. He like gave us the golden grail. And freaking what I remember, man.
Yeah, he was being coy at first, actually. I was getting frustrated. I was like, man, I don't have time for this. And I was like, listen, man, we have $50,000 budget, we're ready to go. We have some experience in this stuff. Like, we need offers. It's like, well, what do you have experience in? Like, what are you interested in? I was like, man, I don't care. Anything.
Who was making money? I want to make the internet money.
Just he was making money. And, he didn't really want to say it. And I was about to, like, just go off on him, and John was like, no, don't say anything, don't do that.
Oh yeah.
And so I stopped, and he just gave us just everything: landers, traffic source, what to bid, the ads to use, the landing pages, everything, man. It was like the offers. So, yeah. So we was making money like really the next day.
The very next day, I remember it because before that we hadn't made any money online. We were trying, and nothing was working. So it was a few days later. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember because I was going crazy. I was like dancing in the house, like, man, like it's no better feeling to, and I'm no better feeling than when you like really like just even that first conversion. I'm like, oh man, okay. Like it was like, and it's mobile stuff. So it's only paying like $1.50 or $2 per conversion. But I remember when we hit that first $1,000 day, and I was like, I called Shukree. I'm like, you see this? Yeah. I'm like, dude, we did $1,000.
Yeah, we couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was like, I remember it was at $997. I was like, holy crap, we about to do $1,000. And then we continued on from there, man. It was like 1,000, 1,500, 1,800. I think our biggest day in mobile was like $2,000 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
So then what happened there was, and this is just a, and you guys can attest to this, I'm sure, but when you're in this business, I think people tend to give up too quickly because, that was our first big boom. And then the telephone, what was happening was we had some sort of a code installed on the lander where it would pull the person's phone carrier. It knew when they clicked on the landing page, it knew their phone carrier. So it would insert the logo of that phone carrier into our lander. Yeah, right. Yeah. So it was like, so the people would think like, holy crap, they're talking to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm an AT&T customer. Yeah. I want something. So it was freaking crushing it. And then the phone companies got a hold of it. They're like, what the? Nobody gave these people permission to use this dang on logo. Take that crap down. Yeah, and it was like, the guy hit us up. He's like, hey, take all this crap down. Like, the phone company's about to sue. So we're like, oh, crap. So we take it all down. Like, and then it just went to crap. Didn't convert at all anymore. Like, it completely killed it. Took all the, basically, we went from, doing $1,000 days to like squat, nothing, to zero.
That one thing. Like, stopped
everything. Right? So then, obviously, we in this thing for real. We in it to make real internet monies and have real companies. So we didn't stop there. That's when we went to Bang and really started doing some heavy stuff there, doing the skincare. And that's when Greg actually hit us up. And Greg was like, hey, man, I see you guys are sending some decent traffic through the network. He was like, why don't you guys, let's work together. Let me help you guys scale your revenue. You guys are on AdWords, right? And we're like, nah, man, we're on Bang. He was like, what? You doing 3 to 5K a day on Bang? He was like, dude, I tried Bang for years. I could never make more than like $150 a day. Yeah. He was like, man, you got to come up here to Washington to my event I'm having and teach this stuff, man. We got to make a course.
Yeah.
And, from there, man, that's when, we made the course and went up, met Greg, met Rico and Ben, and everybody loved it, So we rolled Bang hard for maybe, what was it, like a year and a half or so?
Yeah, it was a while. Yeah, over a year.
Over a year. And then that's when we couldn't get the accounts anymore. And like I said, at this point, we're still doing everything ourselves. Besides making like landers, we had, our guy Bernard, Rico's guy for that. And so from there, then boom, here you go. That's our next big thing that, we were making a killing, and then boom, income's crushed because we can't get accounts to keep.
Right.
And they would just ban us so fast. It's like the cloakers that we were using, they were being able to see our page. And I know that's, cloakers and all that stuff's might be a little advanced depending on, who's listening. But, so then there you go. Then now we were back at zero again.
Yeah. And then, Bang, like what we were doing, we had to we were uploading like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million keywords. So, it was kind of hard to get away with that. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to upload 10,000 keywords, but it's kind of hard to go under the radar. Uploading like 2-3 million keywords. You know what I'm saying? So and they institute like a quality algorithm score type thing where if you had a bunch of relevant keywords, CTRs were low, they would just kind of stop your traffic. So we had a hard time getting accounts, but also when we did get them, the quality changes, kind of hurt everything. So,
and so that was that. And then, so then we had to restructure again. And, so that's what led us into where we are now. And, I'm glad that everything happens for a reason. So you got to kind of be able in this industry to pivot very well, because if you're not able to pivot and reinvent yourself, then, you're dealing with something that grows at a rapid pace. You're talking about making money on the internet where it's constantly changing, constantly evolving. So you have to be able to do the same. You got to be able to, change and pivot when you need to. Or else, really, you'll just freaking go down in flames.
Yeah. I mean, most people think like, oh, you got an internet business. That means you're like on the beach somewhere with a, drink in your hand, legs kicked up, just relaxing and just, having a great life. But, it's not like that, man. You constantly got to change. You constantly got to pivot. You know, it's you got to put out a new fire every day. So, you know, it's not as easy as most people think. You got to really have internal qualities. You know what I'm saying? You really got to be disciplined and have that fortitude, man, and have that mental tenacity, man, really to kind of like be able to, you know, try new things, test new things out, and deal with failure every day. So, you know, it's not as easy as what people make it out to be.
It's no 9 to 5. It's no 9 to 5.
Yeah, man, exactly. And I'll say, I mean, you also one big thing I would definitely say is you got to be able to drink. You got to be able to drink like a professional drinker in this industry. You just can't be no half-ass drinker now. You got to be able to really put a good foot forward and really, you know, just really be able to, you know, hold your Patron or whatever it is. Because most of the good information and the good deals that get done, honestly, for me, is never at these events. So, you know, you got to come to the events too, like affiliate summits, stuff like that. But all the good stuff happens at the bar or in the private events where it's up in somebody's suite and, you know, you get to talking and you just got to be able to drink, baby.
Alcohol is a major key.
Yeah, it comes down to relationships, right? Like the more trust you build, the more business deals you can build.
And Patron is like throwing fire on that.
Totally.
Exactly, but you know, so you know, so we pivoted from Bang, we pivoted into email, and you know, like I said, I'm glad it happened because it really taught us that okay, we need to build something that has, you know, actually building assets. Right. So, you know, what we started doing from there now, I mean, we've got several things. We got, supplement company where we do supplements now. And, you know, we're building that out and, you know, building a good residual income from that. And, you know, obviously the plan is to grow it and sell that off. You know, we've got our own web push platform that we build out.
Do you want to explain that one a little bit, actually? Because I would say that's more of a newer trend.
Yeah, it is really new, man. Yeah, sure. So, you know what? Shukree's really, I'll let Shukree explain that.
I'll let John do it.
I didn't bring any beers in. If I had beers in him, I'd get more out of him. But that's all right. I'll explain it. So basically, you know, the newest, and I would say, in my personal opinion, the newest and one of the best ways of communicating with your potential, customer base is from something called web push notifications. So this has already existed on phones for a long time, where basically you can send out a message. Well, let's talk about how you get them first. So, you know, you install a little piece of code on your site, and when someone lands on it, and I'm sure listeners that you've seen this and may not even know what you were doing, what you were signing up for. But so basically you land on a page and you'll see something pop up that says, hey, this site would like to send you, you know, notifications. That's the basic way. And I'm going to keep it, you know, in the basic terms. So the basic way, it'll pop up. It'll say, hey, this site would like to send you notifications, you know, accept or decline. You click accept. Now you've been opted into their list. So what you can do then once you get them in is, you can send out, you know, whatever kind of message you want, as long as that person has their browser open, right?
Their browser doesn't need to be open, I don't think. It does need to be open.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be up, but it needs to be open. Like they have to have like Firefox or Chrome actually open. It doesn't have to be like up on their screen. So as long as it's open, the software can send that person a message and it'll pop up on their screen. So you're basically getting instant message into this person's face whenever you like. And you're talking about the delivery. There's no inboxing, and there's no rules or regulations.
There's no spam folder.
There's no spam folder. You send a message, they see the message. Yeah. So it's like dang near. It's not 100% delivery usually because people won't be, you know, some people won't have their Firefox or, you know, their browser open. But what it'll do is it'll automatically keep retrying them. It'll keep resending until they see it.
Crazy.
Yeah. So you're talking about instant deliverability, and the freaking engagement is ridiculously high.
Yeah, it's like typical open rate is like 20%, 30%. Like you get really, really high open rates. And you know, in email, a decent open rate is like, you know, 20, 25%. But an open rate in web push is really a click.
Exactly.
Because they're clicking on the message, so it's really a click-through rate. So in email, a good click-through rate is like 2%. whereas in web push it's like 20,
Wow.
so it's like 10 times the engagement, 10 to 20 times the engagement. And so, which means that one web push is roughly like, 10, 20 emails. You do 3 auto-responding web push messages. I mean, it's like you have a whole entire, email series written out for like 2 to 3 months, as far as engagement goes.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And you're talking about clicks coming in, you send it out, and I mean,
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
like a flood of clicks all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Can you give an example of the kind of numbers you guys are seeing on it right now?
Yeah, man. So I guess it all varies. But let's just take it from like an EDU perspective. You send out a push, and I would say on average, a push click is going to be worth, I'd say about $1.50, somewhere around there. And you're talking about a 30% click rate. So, you send out, and this is assuming that, if all things remain like they're supposed to, it's about, a list of like 1,000, 2,000 will yield you about, $300 or so a push, which 1,000 in email isn't going to get you remotely that, So
from an ROI point of view, I would say, maybe 1,000 emails might get you $10.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, as far as an ROI point of view, you're seeing 30 times more revenue from these web push notifications than you are email.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely, man.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
And the typical, depending on how you do it, like the way guys are doing it now, we don't want to give away all our secret sauce, but the way guys are doing it now, they're doing it doing like a double opt-in process, and that opt-in rate is going to be a little bit low, but there's a way to do it with a single opt-in, and you should see about a 10% opt-in rate.
Oh wow.
Just put it on your site. So, just put it on your site, you should see your revenue like double. It's really kind of a no-brainer thing.
It's like
a lot of
extra
guys
money.
aren't really using it correctly. So, it's kind of a new thing that we're trying to kind of dominate, A lot of guys are kind of like, they don't really get it. So, but it's a new technology, and new technology comes out. Most people, they kind of have to experiment with it and things like that. So that's what we're doing.
But
a
usually
lot of
it pays
guys
off though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am one of those guys that doesn't get it. We have it on one of our stores, and I did like a drop once, like buy our shit, and it didn't really work. And then I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm moving on.
Exactly. I mean, that's how it takes somebody else to kind of go in and say, hey, look what we're doing. We're killing it. And then you're like, oh, shit, really? Damn.
Exactly. Yeah, it's and now one thing too is you can do what's like on-site messaging type stuff. I don't know if all platforms have that.
No, most of them
don't, right?
Yeah.
So like with our thing, what we added in it is where you can do like on-site messaging. So basically, you can set up triggers so that, let's just say that person's on your checkout page and they've been there for like 5 minutes and they hadn't done anything. You can set that message to pop up in 5 minutes. Hey, we noticed you haven't checked, that you're on the fence about ordering blah blah blah. Here's a 10% coupon if you order in the next 5 minutes.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's super
Does it have
cool.
a countdown timer too?
No, I don't know I don't think it has a countdown timer in it. I mean, in the software itself, you set a timer in there. So so basically, I think, what's it used for that? Google Analytics, right?
Yeah, you can use it's integrated. Our platform, not all platforms are integrated with Google Analytics, but our platform is integrated, so you can do things like that, like the timer, how long they've been on the site, et cetera, et cetera. That's the on-site messaging option that we have, but you can do it also with web push, where it's mainly used for shopping cart abandonment within the e-commerce space. So a lot of guys who are using it for the e-commerce stores, they're using it for shopping cart abandonment. So that's kind of the I would say the most important use case for web push is shopping cart abandonment. With e-commerce stores.
Does it work well with Shopify?
Yeah, it does. However, you can only do a double opt-in process because with Shopify, those files aren't hosted on your server. So
Gotcha.
you don't have access to the back end of Shopify. So you have to use like an app, or you have to add that to the code, and you can do a double opt-in process, but not a single opt-in process. Now, if you have Shopify Plus account, I think it's like $800 a month. I think they do have an option where you can mess with the back end,
go in there and dig around in the code and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's doing that, so that's just a tip. If you have an e-commerce Shopify store, you got Shopify Plus, you can kind of really kill it with a one-click opt-in web push type integration. And I don't see anyone doing that. So.
That's cool. We actually haven't looked into that at all yet, have we, Gabe?
No, we got a big list though. We're building that push notification list.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we just have a plugin that goes directly into our Shopify, but it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that pop up on the abandonment cart and stuff. So that's really cool. But
like with our platform, you can do things like if someone clicked on a certain article, a certain category, and they didn't buy, you can send them a message. If they did buy, you can send them a different message. You can segment your users based upon their behavior. There's a lot of stuff you can do with our platform that you can't do with, let's say a push. What is it? Push crew.
That's what we're using.
Yeah, they're set up for blogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Push crew. I think One Signal they probably have a more advanced platform, but like I said, most people aren't really using it. I don't think like they should or could right now. So, but it's good enough, I think, to get started. Just build a list.
Yeah.
Test it out. You know what I mean?
We should get. I'm gonna make a note of this. We should definitely look at the abandoned cart series, because that makes total sense, man. Because the abandoned cart, just so if people don't understand what that is, that's when someone's come to your store, they've gone through your store, they've actually picked some stuff, it's in their cart, and they're literally in the checkout process, but they just haven't bought. It's sitting there for whatever reason. Maybe they forgot about it. Maybe they're having second thoughts. I forget what our drop-off rate is there, but if you can optimize that point in your funnel, it's just huge, because that's that's where you're driving all the sales. So if you can optimize points like that, it just does huge things to your ROI and how much revenue you generate at the end of the day. So that's a good little tip, guys. I didn't even think of that myself.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing let's say you're doing a lot of money a month, let's say you're doing $100K a month. I mean, just adding that one thing, it probably, I'm just making a guess, but it should probably add another 10-20%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's incentivizing them, getting them. It's all about getting them to come back, even if they've already bought. You can, and I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure it does. I think so anyway. You can set it up so that it knows what they've purchased,
right? Yeah.
Right, and so if you can send a message that's really tailored specifically to them. If they purchased item A, then logically it makes sense for them to buy item B.
Right.
Then you send them a message. Hey, we saw that we hope you're enjoying product A.
Right.
We're offering product B at a 10% discount if you buy within the next 24 hours.
Right.
Send them another one. Hey, we noticed you didn't buy. Here's a discount. For the next if you buy within the next hour or the next 12 hours or whatever the case may be. So, getting them back on the site to buy more. And then obviously, like you said, Tyler, it's getting them that cart abandonment, getting them before they, maybe they're waffling around there on the fence. Usually they're probably looking somewhere else, trying to shop another price or something. Then you just hit them, boom, when you throw that coupon in their face. I mean, it's hard for them to
You just can't do that with Push Crew. You can't do that with a lot of these platforms. So
for us,
we can do that.
Yeah. The reason we built this thing out, had it built, is because we were doing web push, and there was none of them were robust enough.
Yeah.
They didn't have any options, so we used a lot of them. We're like, oh man, it sucks. We gotta freaking build our own so we can do the stuff we want to do.
Right.
So that's what led us to.
That's cool.
That's super cool.
That's usually how the best things come. It's just trying to fix your own problem, and then you just end up building something fucking amazing.
Yep. Out of necessity, So. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you guys ever going to sell that to everyone, or is it just kind of like a you product right now?
Man, so we were discussing when we first did it. We were like, all right, man, let's freaking roll this thing out, and we had access to a guy who had doesn't he do some Shopify stuff or something? He's got 70,000 freaking subscribers to his thing. We're like, dude, if we just talk to him and get half of his people to try our thing, there you go. And then we were like, I don't want the headache of freaking running this thing. Like, I don't want to have to freaking run this thing and like have support and people hitting me up. And obviously, you know, we would hire people for that, but I'm like, dude, I don't know that I want the headache. And we all agree, like, nah, we don't want that headache. So, you know, our thing we're doing now is just building a huge push subscriber list that we can monetize ourselves. That we're trying to, like, you know, basically getting with guys who have a lot of traffic to their sites, getting it installed and paying them per push subscriber.
Oh, that's cool.
You know,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So just trying to build up a huge, you know, the goal is a million push subscribers. And we just now, that's kind of where the business model kind of switched over to, from wanting a big, you know, like a bunch of like $30 a month type customers to like, that might suck actually if stuff keeps breaking down, or who knows, you know, so many users. We hadn't tested it, like, oh shit, we get a bunch of people in and stuff starts happening, crashing and whatnot. So now we're like, screw it, let's just get a huge list and just make a bunch of money off push subscribers, you know? And that's something that until it dies anyway, until like everybody does it and it gets oversaturated, but by then we'll be done made a killing. So
that's cool.
Well, you can imagine a million push subscribers, say 25-30% click through.
Exactly.
There you go.
Each click's worth $1.50 or even $1, man.
There you
That's
go.
a damn good day in the office.
Exactly.
Damn good every day.
Getting those monies.
Yes, sir. The internet monies.
Yeah.
And then it's an asset too. It's an asset that we can, you know, potentially sell, and you know, it's all around just a great choice, you know. So
yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. So you guys, you have the supplement line, you have the push. What else do you guys have?
So one thing that I just started looking into, you know, we were doing EDU for the longest, and we were at one point looking to build our own EDU offer, and it was just so much crap behind it, so much red tape and everything like that. So I'll give, and this is a tidbit for your listeners. So one thing that I'm about to probably crank on this coming week is we started testing a lot more offers that's within the same demographic base, that works on the same demographic, but that's not EDU. Because to be honest, we're kind of like EDU freaks, and EDU makes us so much money, it's hard not to mail it, you know? So we started mailing other things. So what I noticed is that there's like a few other niches that do really well within the education market. So, you know, now what we're going to start doing is, you know, going ahead and building out our own offers. So there's two.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's two that we're going to be working on. And for guys that's listening, guys and gals, obviously. So for everybody that's listening, one thing that you can do, which I wanted to touch on something. So let me backtrack one sec.
Yeah.
So one thing I'll tell everybody that when we were talking about like what really, when the light bulb went off and what took us to the next level, is when we stopped trying to do everything our freaking selves and started hiring help, like outsourcers, and, you know, like we've got a marketing director now who pretty much handles damn near everything for us. You know, I show up in the office, and, you know, I get here, you know, I'm in pretty early, but she gets in around 6:30 a.m. our time, you know, Eastern Standard Time, and she's already, you know, all the data and stuff is being cleaned. She, you know, sets up the mailing, tells the rest of the team what to do. And once, you know, we used to be sitting in the office ourselves mailing all freaking day long, like trying to inbox, doing all that. And, you know, we were making good money then too, but the problem was the time freedom. We had like no time because we had the freaking mail, you know. And then, you know, we couldn't drink as much as we wanted to because we had the freaking mail. You get drunk in mail, man. You don't. You
just don't care. You're like, good enough. Let's just send
it.
Exactly.
I'll screw it. I'm sending it like this. $1,000 per send because you did something stupid. So, you know, when we started hiring outsourcers, man, before we were like, oh man, we gotta, you know, you gotta worry about this and that. Like we gotta interview these people, and you know, once you do it, you gotta kiss a whole lot of frogs because I'll be honest, we definitely fire more than we keep on board for sure. So, but that's with anything. I mean, it's a real business, so you're gonna have to, like, you know, handle, you know, the management of all that stuff. But you know, it gave us so much more time freedom. You know.
Yeah.
So I leave every day at 2:00 to go get my daughter. I walk to school to get her, and you know, I play with my kids when I want. My pool's about to get opened up, and I'm gonna be pulling it up, and chilling. So we do work hard. Don't get me wrong, but by hiring outsourcers, it totally freed up our plate. And so that's just one thing that I wanted to stress. Like, you're gonna at some point have to hire help, and I know you guys know this. You're gonna have to, because I know you guys got staff as well. You just gotta have staff, unless you're just gonna be you're like a doctor basically. Well, yeah, you're making money, but when the hell you ain't got no time to spend it. Can't spend up the money,
Yeah.
Nobody want that's to me, that's I don't want that problem. I'd rather have I maybe a little less, but the time to spend it and to be able to do the things I want to do is definitely way more important to me. So,
well, just for clarification too, I was like making things simple so people listening can understand. Do you want to explain what an outsourcer is?
Yeah, sure, man. So for us, basically, an outsourcer is just like you would have an employee. They're a virtual worker, basically. So, it's just like, let's just say if you had somebody hired here, they come into the office and you got to put them on your payroll and like take out employee taxes or all that different stuff. Well, with an outsourcer, generally they're in another country. And so they're basically a subcontractor for you. So you do like a 1099 or something for them, is when you're filing. And they have to handle all the tax stuff themselves over there. So for us, all our employees are in the Philippines. And I'll give you guys one better. As many people as I've hired and fired and interviewed, I basically have it down to a science on the type of people I hire in my company. Now, I'm not sure if this is legal, so we're just going to say they're in another country, so I'm guessing it is. So I'm just going to say it. All right, so here's the thing. I know the age. I know the type of person. First of all, female. If you're hiring in the Philippines, it's female. The males suck. They will lie to you. Their English is worse. I don't know why. They're just dumber. They're just not that smart over in the Philippines, the men. All right. So if you're a dude in the Philippines listening to this, obviously that probably doesn't apply to you because you're smart enough to be listening to these guys' podcasts. So you're not an idiot. But the rest of them, man, they'll just lie to you. I've had guys on the phone like basically know nothing about what they told me they did, and then they just beg me for they're like, please, sir, do I get the job, sir? I need the money, sir, please. I'm like, the hell? So I just hang up on them. So women, age, generally, if they're over 30, I hate to say it, but generally if they're over 30, they've got a different the education was different then. So like older women, I don't want to say that, but well, yeah, I do. 35 or older, just count them out. Don't even think about it. Like they're just not going to work out. 20, 20-ish, early 20s to like 30 is best. And I hate to say, if they have, generally for us, when they have kids, it's usually a distraction. So they won't, because, they're up during they're 12 hours ahead of us. So the normal work hours here is like 9 to 3. So it's 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. their time. So then they got to get back up to get the kids ready for school and all that stuff. So generally if they got kids, they'll tell you they can handle the hours, but they can't. So, and if they're single, that's even better. You want somebody that can really dedicate their time to you.
This sounds more like a dating profile than anything. She got to be under 30. She's got to have no kids.
It is. And I'm telling you, man, it never failed me time after time. The only time it's been different is my marketing director. We recently hired her sister. She's over 30. She has kids, but it's in her bloodline. They're just awesome human beings. I don't know what their parents fed them or whatever, but they're just freaking machines. So that's the only time it's been different. Every time I stray away from that, it always fails and I end up firing the person. So yeah.
How many do you think you've gone through to figure that out?
Shit, dude, I guarantee you 40.
Wow.
40 to 50. And that's including interviews and people I've hired and fired as well. And it's probably more than that. Like at one point I was interviewing like 5 people a day, and I did that for weeks on end because pretty much all of them were sucking, and they would lie to me and tell me, yeah, I know cPanel and I know how to log into servers. And then you're like, all right, it's go time. So tell me tell me what you know and this and that. And they're just like, it's crickets chirping. They ain't saying nothing because they don't know, because they lie. Yeah. So, God, man.
Crazy.
But I started keeping a log of the type of people that worked and the type of people that didn't.
That's smart.
Yeah, and it's generally always been that. So that's an outsourcer. There's a couple different places. We usually hire from onlinejobs.ph. Like that's our number one go-to to find the best talent is usually there. There's a lot of liars on there too, but they like fluff up their resume, but that's generally the best spot, onlinejobs.ph.
Cool.
What we actually our guy who's been with us for 3 years now, we got him from onlinejobs.ph, so I can definitely vouch for that service. It's been huge for us. As far as like pay and stuff, how much do you guys generally start the outsourcers at?
So generally a regular old grunt mailer or something just starting out. I think I usually start them out at like $400 a month. And so what I like to do there, so we have a vetting process basically. So they have to go through a trial. Generally it's 14 days. During that 14-day period, they cannot show up late. If they're over 5 minutes late, they're automatically kicked out and they do not get paid unless they finish the training. So there's a 2-week period where, they're going through first day, they watch videos that Gail's already shot to tell them what we do and how to do it. Day 2, they come in, she lets them mail a little bit just to see if they know what's going on. Day 3, we kind of release them a little bit more, let them mail some more. And I'm just looking to see how much revenue they generate. So, I know my numbers pretty well. So if they come in and they're not at least generating me a couple $100 a day, after that first week, really they need to be generating about $500 a day.
Yeah.
And if they're not, it's probably because they're doing something wrong or they're BSing around and, that kind of thing. So, during that 2-week period, if they make it through the 2-week training, they'll get paid for that training. And generally it's probably like, I don't know. I think I usually pay them like $50 a week or something like that to start out with just for the training. And then, like I said, if they're late, they get kicked out and they do not receive payment. And, after the 2-week training, I go through and look at, different things. I'll talk to Gail, see how good they are to work. For me, the main thing I look for is attitude. So if the person's upbeat, they have a good attitude, they're willing to learn, nobody really knows how to do the stuff we do off rip. You got to learn it. So it's not like I'm looking for like this super smart technical person. Just have a little some common sense, have a little tech savviness to you, and we'll work with you, But mainly for me, I need to make sure they're a good fit. And, me and Shukree, we like to have fun. We're upbeat guys, you know what I'm saying? So I want somebody that matches with that type of personality. And I don't want anybody that's going to have a bad energy to them that's infectious to the rest of the team. That one bad apple type mentality. I don't want that one bad apple. So I like to have people that's upbeat, good personality, and that's willing to show up with a smile, a virtual smile, or what have you. And that's what we go for, man. And it's proved itself to be right so far.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Again, you've done an awesome job of like figuring out who the ideal person is to fit in that, like age, gender. No kids, like
yeah,
man.
I got 6 kids.
Yeah,
you got enough for all of them.
Yeah, I got enough for everybody. They don't need any.
And coming from an ROI point of view, that's a lot of people when they start online. One common thing I've noticed, people have this like excuse, and rightfully so. They always believe like, I'm not that technical. I don't get all this technical stuff, and I'm a tech dummy. I don't know about you guys, but. Yeah, man, I am not strong technically at all, and like I have simple challenges sometimes with my own email, send and receive it. So I'm always a huge fan of outsourcers too. We use onlinejobs.ph. We use some other stuff. Now we actually go. I don't know if you've tried this. Have you ever asked? Well, obviously you have because you mentioned it. Basically asking for referrals from like the best people you have now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, that's what really was been working the best for us. Like, I just got so burnt out, and so did Gail. Like, I had one kid that was 19 years old and just didn't understand anything. But he was a hard worker though. He would work super hard, stayed late, and I'm like, man, if he could just get it, then he'll be a freaking asset. And I had to end up letting him go because. He was an idiot, right? Yeah, exactly. Gail sent him a file to download. We were doing some kind of like weird IP stuff or something. So Gail sent him a file to download, and he downloaded and he goes, "Hey, Miss Gail, where do you think that file went on my computer that I downloaded? I can't find it."
Wow.
She went, "What?" I went, "All right, that's it, dude. I've been working with you long enough, man. I've been trying, but dude, it ain't gonna work, man."
Yeah.
He's like, "What? Why, boss? I thought I was doing so great." I'm like, "Dude, you can't even find a file on your computer, man. I can't work with that." Like, dang.
That's so funny.
Yeah, definitely hit or miss. But for any like internet companies starting out, getting outsourcers, especially people from the Philippines, I'm definitely an advocate of that, man, because it just makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really affordable too. And to be honest, they are so grateful. Like, they are the most polite, grateful people that I have ever dealt with, and they will grind to the bitter end for you.
Yes, and I'll tell you one thing that I would recommend to the listeners as well. And one thing I had to, for me, I never. Some people say, well, you don't need to pay anybody over there over X. Well, the way I was brought up as far as in business, from my original boss when I was working in the lawn and garden industry, was he always said, I'll pay a guy, based upon what he can produce. So, for instance, like a lot of people, they don't want to pay their, outsourcers over, whatever it may be, $750, $800, because it is a decent amount of money for over there. So for me, my marketing director, Gail, who's been with us now for like a couple years, she makes $1,000 a month, but I also pay her 1% to 2% commission each month off of net profit. So if she hits over 50, so if we do over 50,000 a month profit in email, then she'll get 2% of that. If we do under, so it's basically incentivizing her to work harder and work everybody else harder. So what she'll generally get, freaking, she makes like $2,000 a month, because she'll generally get like $1,000 or so bonus each month. So she's freaking living it up over there. I'm talking about $2,000, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of money in the Philippines.
Yeah, absolutely.
To put it into perspective, like when I was looking up salaries and stuff for over there, like I was seeing like the doctors and stuff were making like 800 to like $1,000 a month. So she's rolling it in over there. So but it makes sense because first of all, she's been with us a long time, and she's a freaking machine. I mean, she handles everything. And if she hits a bump, obviously she doesn't come to me because I don't know crap about tech stuff, but Shukree, that's his that's what he does. So she'll hit him like, "Hey, boss Shukree, could you help me with such and such?" And he'll tell her, she'll fix it, and boom, things get back to rolling. So, as we speak right now, she just Skyped me and just kind of giving me little updates and stuff on what's going on, what she sent out for the day, what everybody else production was, and she'll just give me recaps at the end of every day. And so
more time for drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Patron time.
Yeah, exactly, man. So, for me, generally it's just, play with the kids time, but those random days where I just start pounding beer, then end up with wine, and
we call it Thursday.
Headache.
We call it Thursday.
Exactly. On a Thursday of all day, I just like, oh, dude, I'm gonna get freaking hammered today. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna throw back some beers on this Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, exactly, man. So
really, I blame Shukree because he wasn't there to help you. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
Totally. It was his fault, man.
If he just would have helped me with those beers, I would have drunk all 6 and then drunk a whole bottle of wine.
Yeah. Bro, you're holding out over here. Look at what you're doing to your partner.
Yeah, man. Sheesh. Oh, goodness. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's so for us, now everything is sellable assets. When we're building something, is this an asset that can actually be packaged up and sold? So it's all about creating offer stuff that just that can produce obviously value, but can also later on down the line, once we build it up, be sold.
If you were to sell your email company, how much do you think that would be worth?
That's a good question, man. And that's something that I've been rolling around in my head. I mean, every industry, I guess that's the term. Every industry has its 1x, 2x times cash value, whatever the case may be. And I'm not really sure what if it's a 1x, 2x type deal. Here's the problem. The problem is, which is why we started building out all these different things, is it's hard to have for it to be a sellable asset because we're in turn using someone else's platform to mail.
Yeah.
So, it's not something that we necessarily own. And then as far as the data goes, that's being gotten from a third party vendor. So, we don't necessarily own that either. So it's like, it's emails treated us great over the years, made us a ton of money, but there was nothing there that we owned. Obviously, the openers and clickers, we have those, but it's like, how do you put a price tag on it,
Yeah.
I would like to say, if someone, I'd say this, if someone were to come to us and say, hey, man, we want you to teach us basically hand us over your business, hand us over your Gale, how you're, teach us how you're mailing, let us get, access to your third party vendor, the data, like basically don't change anything. Just you step out of it and, sign a non-compete or something like that. That's definitely worth about, I'd say at least $2 million.
$2 million.
Nice.
Sure.
Nice.
For sure. Yeah. $2 million for sure. And I don't know that I might jump at it. It depends. I'd probably jump at it, but it depends how the non-compete is. I mean, because I'm still going to mail. So
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm going to still mail.
Yeah.
So
I'll build this shit up again. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna hit your openers and clickers up.
Yeah.
Bow with me.
Well, basically, you take that $2 million, then you go move to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Start yourself an office.
And live like a cake.
If you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to answer this, but what's your biggest day been in the internet space? I'm assuming it's going to be with email, but
yeah, well, it's two things. So we did BizOp before too. Biggest day with that was like $50,000.
Yeah.
And that was selling our product on stage. We've done several of those type launches where we do like 40 grand on stage, 50 grand on stage. As far as email goes, our biggest day was like 11 to 12K, right? Remember when we were on?
Yeah.
And so basically, one thing we do is that works pretty well is, or was working well, totally uncompliant, by the way. I wouldn't recommend it because we started getting busted for it, but it's doing like a pre-sale lander to introduce the person to the actual offer. So basically, Robert Cialdini's theory of once you get a person to commit, the chances of them actually doing the action you want them to do is a lot higher. So it's just throwing something up in there first to like get them warmed up, basically.
Yeah.
So what we were doing was doing pre-sale landers, but they were like super dirty. I didn't even know we were running these things. It was basically like one page had money raining out of the air. It's like, congratulations, you qualify for a grant. Click here. Get started. It's like, money dudes got a fistful of cash, and literally money's like raining down out of the freaking sky. And so I didn't know. I never checked it. So because Shukree was like, hey man, I'm gonna get some more of those pre-sale landers done. I'm like, all right, cool. So we're running them, and all of a sudden I get in the office one day, and stuff just started climbing. 5K, 7K. And then there's like consistent days we just kept doing like anywhere from 8 to 12K. We maxed out like 12K. And, just consistently doing 100K a month type stuff. High hundreds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, these freaking pages are crushing it. So what happened was, so I go in and check. I'm like, well, damn, what is on these pre-sale pages? And I see that one where it's just like money raining out of the sky. And like a dude's got his fist in the air with a handful of cash. Like, yes. It's like, you qualify for this grant, dude. Click here and get started. And like super uncompliant. So I remember we were running with Zeta.
The most compliant place ever.
Dude, we were running freaking CTS compared to our schools. And so we get, we're set up now where we get our wires weekly from all our affiliate networks and stuff. So we were like, there's this big wire coming through. It's like 35 grand or something. And as soon as it hit, the very next day, they busted us. And so the affiliate manager's like, how dare you guys run something so uncompliant? This is like ludicrous. I've never seen anything like this. How dare you? And so he basically,
man.
I'm
bro.
running dirty. He's like, but shit, you get caught, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. Don't get caught. He's like, if you do, dude, I'm throwing you. I'm letting you know I'm throwing you under the bus. And he's like, oh, you guys, I've never seen anything like this. And then he's like, oh, you guys still want to run that offer?
What? I got kicked off that offer on Facebook for way less shit than that.
Yeah, man.
I like rearranged some wording in like the approved fucking like copy they gave me, and they're like, "No, this isn't acceptable. You're off." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yep. And and so that goes back to, we took him out. We had him we were like out Lay Burger. Had him out and got him all drunk and, just had good conversations with him. He's like, oh, dude, it's all good, man. I don't, you guys just gotta, I won't say the affiliate manager's name.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't already. So anyway, it's,
You might have mentioned something.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. That particular guy, we had a good dude, man, sat down, had some drinks and stuff. And like I say, that's why you got to be able to drink in this industry, because generally it's always, I'll sit and have drinks with them, and we'll end up talking, and that's when you get down to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so that's always been a good help to us. Meeting guys, going out, or we'll fly out to wherever they're at and hang out with them for a couple of days, and it's good dudes in this industry, man. There's a lot of snakes too, but for the main part, good dudes in this industry, man. So just got to be able to hang out with them and stuff like that, get to know them.
I actually heard the story of when you guys went and visited Dima in West Palm there.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. God, woo, Lord, yeah, those guys are animals, son. Like, you can't put us together. Like, God, it's freaking just always insanity. We're always getting kicked out of some place, or just fighting in the middle of the office. I threw up in Jeff's office a little bit. Like, it's just absolute chaos. Like, we were in some restaurant, this real nice fancy restaurant, with loud as crap. Like, we're ordering all these wines and like cussing up a storm. Like, I'm a high energy guy, but I'm usually pretty tame, especially if it's a family environment, because I got a family, I got kids, you know what I'm saying? And but man, when I get together with those guys with freaking God, who's not
Matt?
Jeff. Matt. It's Matt, dude. He's my kryptonite. Like, when we get together, we just always get crazy. He even said, he's like, man, I'm not even like this usually. He's like, man, when we get together, it's bad. We're like, got kicked out of, where were we at? We got kicked out of Nobu when I was with him. Yeah. Like, they're like, all right, guys. All right, that's it. You guys got to go. You can't be in here acting like this. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. We're there like chanting, like, I don't even know, like, eat that dick or something. Like, stuff, like, just insane, man. Like, listen, y'all, man. Yeah, man. It's crazy.
The wild man of affiliate marketing.
Oh, that's so funny. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, just to move forward, question for you guys.
Yep.
And there was our last podcast. No, I'm just kidding. As far as like newbies wanting to get in the online scene, they want to move forward, they don't know where to start. What do you think is like an upcoming trend that I would say the average Joe or Jill could like look at investing some time in to figure out this online space and figure out how to make some dollars, some internet money? I'm
super sorry. My wife just came in and asked me for the debit card, so I was like helping her find that.
Oh, no worries.
Could you repeat that for me, please?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So for new people coming online, wanting to like figure out how to generate an online income with no like prior experience, what's like an upcoming trend, or what's something you'd recommend for them to get started, so at least they can like start getting their feet under them a little bit and start figuring this space out?
Yeah, man. So I would say that a couple things. For one, for sure, if they can get their feet into web push, would be awesome. Like, and it can even be to where, if they've, even if they can set it up to where they can like purchase some push subscribers, that sort of thing. And that's to be continued. I'm got some stuff rolling around trying to work on something like that. But if they can get into generating a push subscriber list, that's money in the bank. The other thing I would say, emails a great space. Obviously it's treated us very well. If they were going to start out, I would say email would be a pretty good place, just starting out small on like an Aweber or something like that. Just kind of loosen up the reins a little bit. They'll kind of let you mail some stuff as long as you don't get complaints. So I would say if I had to start over, it would definitely be in email. What I would do is start out small on something like an Aweber. The rest of them are kind of dicey. Constant Contact right now also guys are using with some success. So like an Aweber or a Constant Contact, get yourself a good, and that's the other part. You kind of got to find yourself a good data plug. What I would recommend for that, where I found some of mine, is get inside of these groups inside of LinkedIn. Like there's data groups, education type of mailing type of groups, stuff like that. Get in some of the groups on Facebook, for mailers and data guys. And you really got to find someone with good, fresh data. You want like a live feed. To start off, you might want to test some of their data, but you don't want anything that's really, personally, I don't like anything that's over 24 hours old. No more than 48 hours old, because the older it is, the more it's been mailed, and the worse the data is going to be, the less engagement you'll have. So that's what I would, if they're going to start there, start small, and then you kind of build it up as you go along. You start to get a good relationship with some of these data providers. And you find a good data provider, man, that's the key. Good data, and the ability to mail it, which would be like an Aweber or something. That's where you start off, man, and having some good offers. But offers are out there. They're kind of a dime a dozen. It's a lot of good affiliate networks. Revenue Ads, Dima is one. Zeta, they're kind of big, so I probably wouldn't start there. But Dima, Revenue Ads, Banner Edge, those are some good places to start, man. Some good offers,
Yeah, I would say, because I deal with a lot of guys, like friends or so-called friends who, want to get started. I would go simpler, depending on like your experience. I would say figure out what value you can bring to people. Like what are you good at? What do you know? What are you interested in? And I would say start a blog, and try to provide value to people. And the money will come. That's what I would start at with most guys anyway. Because, with email, it's a lot of technical things you got to do. It's a lot of deals you got to put together. You got to understand affiliate marketing. You got to have some technical knowledge. But I think for most people, it's just figure out what the hell you're good at, what you know, and how you can help people and provide value to an audience. And
actually, it's not. Yeah, and it's a lot simpler for sure.
Yeah,
a lot simpler.
And just start a blog and just put your thoughts down on giving information to people for free. And
chances are everybody has one thing that they're usually a little better at than most. Yeah. That they know a little bit more about that interests them, and even if it's a hobby. You know what I'm saying? Right. Something that for me, I'm really big in. So to put this into practical terms, if I was to start a blog, I'm real big on mindset and high performance. So I'm a big Brendan Burchard, fan and purchaser of his stuff and psycho-cybernetics. So if I want to start a blog, it'd definitely be about mindset, stuff like that, because that's something that interests me. And like Shukree said, you can start it, write it, start to get, now, the other thing becomes viewers. But nowadays, it's a lot easier to get an audience because you just get your stuff, post some stuff on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Value, provide value on there. Put up your user base, have a little Facebook fan page, send them from there to your blog, and as you get those visitors up, it's a ton. I mean, there's a million different ways to monetize that.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. And then you can always go to Facebook and boost your posts, promote your posts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I think the main thing is to figure out what you're good at, what you're interested in, do something you kind of love, you like to do, and just provide value to people in the form of content. I think that's the easiest way to start.
That is, that's actually it's a lot easier than when I was just telling y'all about email. You gotta you gotta be mailing, you gotta inbox, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have seeds. Yeah. Start a blog. That's much more sage advice.
I like how the technical guy had the easiest answer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The dude who doesn't know anything about tech, I'm like, yeah, man. Start emailing. Get some of them email monies. The worst idea ever.
Yeah.
A terrible idea.
Scratch that.
Don't start out emailing. You'll fail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a much better idea.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. It makes total sense, too. We're a huge fan of, like, focusing on your strengths and focusing on what you're good at. Because I forget who it was, but if you focus on your weaknesses, you'll have at best a bunch of mediocre weaknesses.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Yeah.
But no, I think that's really good advice. Actually, do you guys hear about that one guy on Instagram that just posts like motivational quotes every day, and he has like a few million people following him now?
Damn, no, I didn't hear about that.
So this guy, all he does is post on Instagram, has a few million people following him, and they're just like motivational quotes. He probably doesn't even make them. At this point, he probably does now. But I think last year, I forget which, I forget what that offer was. I forget what it was. But it was like about online business and stuff. Anyways, he promoted it. And I heard he was one of the top performers. And anyways, he was at an event receiving an award. I think he did like $2 to $3 million in revenue.
What?
Nice.
Just off, and the whole basis of his business model is pushing motivational quotes on Instagram. Wow. And I heard now he's got like Fortune 500 companies like contacting him for consulting work and stuff like that. But it just starts off, like you said, Chuck, like, start with something that and build it up. And right now is the easiest time I think that's ever existed to attract an audience online.
Yeah, man, it really is.
Like people are so connected. Like I look at I got Twitter, I got Snapchat, no one even uses Twitter anymore. I got Facebook, Instagram, like it all exists. You're connected so many ways nowadays that it's the easiest time, in my opinion, to ever get an audience than it ever has been before.
Yeah, I think, definitely, especially for like viral growth and people sharing stuff and just all the different social media platforms that exist and everything's kind of interconnected and, so. That's
a good idea, man. I wouldn't have thought of that to tell somebody like, that's a pretty, like, freaking start a blog and you can get so many viewers to it from all this social media. The only thing, so that's another thing. Even though I'm lumped in with the millennial crowd, I hate social media. I don't use it. I go on Facebook like once or twice, maybe 3 times a month or something. And
I thought you were going to say a day.
A day.
No, dude, no.
I'm really scaling down here, guys.
I'm scaling down three times a day, man. I'm barely on it. I'm like, I don't even have Instagram. I don't got Snapchat, and I'm a freaking marketer. You think I'd have that stuff, but I don't know, man. I feel like a older person. I'm like trying to fight social media. I'm like, no, I don't want it, and I ain't downloading it on my phone.
I don't like it either, because what we do, we aren't really social media like marketers. I kind of like resent it a little bit. I think it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of shallow and like egocentric and. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I come from the era where, everyone wasn't online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was online, 98, 99. Not too many people had a computer, had AOL, chat.
Yep.
Because it was cool back then. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm online, I know how to get dial-up and download porn.
I want to know what you were looking at back then.
You know what it was.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like everybody's kids is online, so it's like and everyone's sharing stuff that no one cares about. So it's kind of like blah, but it presents an opportunity for people to really provide good value. Yeah. Apart from just posting pictures of yourself every day, and just say, oh, look what I ate today. It's like great, but go out there and really provide value. I mean, it could be something simple like I frequent the strip club a lot. You know what I mean? And I know I could create a crazy YouTube channel just talking about strippers and strip club and just like giving advice. I know I can do that, and I'm not going to do that. But
I think that's $1 million idea. I don't know why the fuck you don't do that.
Right. Well, I just don't want that, that brand on me.
You could wear like a body GoPro every time you went there too, to get like that point of view look.
Yo, that's an actually brilliant idea.
It's for the guys that are not allowed to go to the strip club, but they can feel like they're there with you.
Right.
For free. For free.
I'm here turned up. Look at that stripper booty. It's like you right here. See, it's like you feeling it too.
Susan, get me a beer.
Yeah. Hey, get a beer, dog. I want a beer. Get a beer. Like, you got a thing in your ear so the people live can like talk to you. Like, what do you think I should do now?
Yeah.
Go get a beer, dog. Put that beer on that stripper booty.
That is brilliant. You see what I'm saying? So my point is that, it could be anything, and you can make a fortune from it. As long as it's like unique, different, and provides value, you can take anything from your life and turn it into something interesting. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to worry about affiliate marketing and finding offers. Just build an audience of people who like what you're saying, and then you'll figure it out later on. Like the guy like you said, with the motivational quotes, he started doing it, but didn't know where it was gonna go. But woke up one day, had a couple of million followers. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, there's this.
Start small and provide value.
There's this guy on social media that I was just reading about on Instagram, and his name, his Insta page is called Shithead Steve. I kid you not, and all he posts is memes and shit, like just funny ass stuff. And I was reading the other day that he gets paid like $2 to $10K to post something on his site, and it's only got like 1 million followers. Yeah. But it just gets such engagement that the value's there. So like, there's no way that this guy started this thing being like, yeah, I'm gonna make bank off this. He just started posting stupid shit that he thought was hilarious.
Yeah. And that's what it is. That's all money is just value. Yeah. And provide value, your money is gonna come. You know what I mean? Because people, it attracts eyeballs, and that's what advertisers want. They just want eyeballs. That's all commercials. Though I mean, all these TV shows, they make money off commercials. So they provide great values, entertainment, and they get paid off the commercials. So,
I was actually told that's how TV shows started, was just so that people would watch commercials. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, I just heard that the other day too. That's funny.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, a way to get housewives to watch commercials was like give them a TV show and then throw the commercials in between.
Right.
It makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I should verify that, but yeah, man, I totally agree. If you can provide value, get an audience, like opportunities will just come to you. Actually, did you guys hear about that couple that I think they like travel the world and they get like, sometimes $8,000 to like post pictures of them in different places?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Are they really good looking?
I think they were like above average, but
I'm just debating if like I should take a new career path here and like
honestly,
if they're really good looking, I'm out. But like if they're mediocre, I'm in.
Yeah, man.
If there's ever a time to start something, now would be that time, man.
Sorry, Tyler. I think this partnership's over, bro. I'm gonna go pursue my dream.
Episode.
Yeah.
Done. Sorry. Got a new career path here.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, that makes sense. That's cool, though.
Yeah, that's super cool. Question for you guys, and I don't know if you are or not, but I ask every one of our guys on our podcast. Because I am a car guy. Are you guys car guys at all?
Man, a little. My stuff, man. I got such a large family, so I'm a family vehicle guy.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Once that stuff I was talking about, once all the dust has settled there, my car that I'm going to get is I'm going to get one of those Karmas. They opened back up. The Karma, they used to make them.
Karma.
It's the electric car.
It's an fully electric joint. It's kind of like Tesla.
It's called
Fisker,
it's a Fisker Karma.
Exactly. Yeah, the Fisker Karma. So they made them for like a year actually, and then they stopped, and then they just now reopened a plant up here in Atlanta, and they got all the service. Yeah, man. So I'm like, ooh. So I'm gonna grab one of those.
Look wild.
Yeah, they're crazy, man. They're like the original electric car.
They almost look like What's that called? They almost look like a Maserati a little bit here.
Yeah, they do got like a Mozzie kind of look to them, man. And there's a dealer right here that's in Atlanta that has them. They're freaking sweet. So, you know, as far as car wise, for the family, you know, I just got a big Escalade, which I'm about to go and get one of the new Suburbans because I need actually more room. The big Escalade isn't even enough because I'm going to have eight people in my family now, so I have to have something that'll fit 8 people. And my wife won't let me get one of those, you know, those big vans like the Explorer vans, like TVs and stuff in them. I want one of those. I'm like, dude, those things are sweet. And the van thing, it seats 10 people or something. She's like, no, those things are hideous. They're like a church van. I'm like, no, I don't. They got rims on them. They got freaking wood grain everywhere. But so she doesn't want one of those. So we're just gonna get a Bourbon, and but I'm gonna get my treat. Yeah. I'm gonna get my Karma here soon, and you know, I don't know, Shukree is not a car guy. He just likes whatever will make women like jump in the car with him.
Yeah, you know, I'm a single guy, no kids, so you know, my car serves a purpose, and it's not for me. Like, I'm not trying to enjoy the experience of the car and all that stuff. I mean, that's nice, you know, but I just want some girls to say, "Oh, nice car," you know what I'm saying?
So what is that car then? What have you decided that is the nice car?
I want a Ferrari, Italian. You know, that's what I want. You know, I'm not gonna get that now. No, but you know, I usually just kind of go with the BMW right now. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the, I guess, go-to car.
That 6 Series.
So I'm gonna get a 6 drop, and you know,
found in the perfect one. A nice. Which the one you like? The white one? Or
I think it was a black one.
Black on black. Yeah, that black on black one. And it's a freaking. It was I found him a 6 Series. Crap. It was the V10 model though, with like the freaking quad exhaust in the back.
Oh wow.
Wider. It's like, oh man, that thing is sick, boy. Ooh. Yes.
Tyler and I rented an M6, a convertible M6, when I was down visiting in Tampa, Florida, and man, that thing was just like a freaking rocket ship. It was so fast. It was a great car, man. Awesome car.
Yeah, they got some power. He won't even be here. He won't even be getting into it. He won't even like test it even over 100 miles per hour. He's not going to use.
I'm not going to go fast.
Those 10 cylinders for sure. He just going to put around Buckhead with it and pick up some dudes and
go.
LA Fitness, where you at?
LA Fitness. He's like, yeah, come. Where you at, boy? I got a new car for you. Come on, take a spin. Let your hair blow in the wind. So.
That's some funny ass shit. Oh man, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like on that note, we should just call it quits here because that was good. That was fun. I don't know, Tyler, do you got anything else?
No, man, my face hurts.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm like all hyped up for a big day of work now, you know?
I know, I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
We're just gonna start calling you guys every morning and just be like, what the fuck is going on over there? Tell us.
Now, where y'all boys at? Are y'all West Coast or?
I'm Florida right now, Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you by Mark then. You were, because Mark was right there near Tampa.
Yeah, then I got here and he moved away.
Oh, damn, dude. So you just moved there. Yeah, he's in Orlando now.
Yeah.
And I'm in Vancouver. I'm in Canada up here.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you're still what, Eastern Standard too, right?
No, I'm West Coast.
He's Pacific.
Okay. Oh, you way over there in that part of Canada.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
Oh, you got up early then.
Yeah.
9 a.m. Just getting started over here.
Okay.
When we started, it's now like 10:30. So.
Yeah.
But
Wait, I see it, man. All planes flow through Atlanta, so.
Yeah, that Delta hub, right?
You know it. Yeah, man. Y'all boys need to come holler at us, man, sometime soon.
My mom lives in Georgia, man. I like Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Cool. All right, guys. Well,
fellas, well, shit, that was good, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And for all our listeners, give us a review on iTunes when you got a sec, because that always helps. And let us know what you think.
Yeah, feel free. We got Snapchat, we got email, we got Facebook. We have actually we don't have Snapchat, do we?
No, we don't have Snapchat. We do, but we don't use
Instagram.
It. Yeah, we moved to Instagram. We got those Insta stories, you know.
That's right.
Everything
Facebook,
in one place.
Instagram, email. Leave us a review. Let us know what you think. If you hate it, leave a review on someone else's podcast. But if you like it, leave one here.
Yeah, there you go.
What about you guys? Do you guys have any, like, if anyone wants to contact you, do you want to be contacted or no?
No.
No.
Cool.
Cool.
Hates people. I don't mind. Somebody might have questions or something, sure. But
You
I
can
don't
find
know,
them
man,
in
like,
ATL in a strip club.
Yeah, now if you want to find a Shukree, you can go to Follies.
Go to Follies.
He's generally there. If you want to find me, then you can, shoot me an email, I suppose. John at fcmedia.co. That's not .com. That's John at JOHN at fcmedia, FCMEDIA.co. CO.
Nice.
And shoot me an email. You might have a question. You might just be getting started and you're struggling, man. I do, try to help folks out when I can. So, if you do want to contact me, hit me up. But I'm about to have a baby here soon. So if I don't get right back to you, don't freak out or anything. Just give me a few days.
And if you want a job, you have to be a woman under 30.
Yes. Under 30.
Single.
No kids.
No kids. And from the Philippines.
Yeah. In the Philippines. Or, if you're here, you can't be super hot because I don't need Shukree getting us any kind of, we don't need to be giving our internet monies up in a lawsuit or anything. So I don't need to hitting on chicks. So,
All right, I'm just going to end this shit because it's going to keep going for hours.
The wild end of affiliate marketing. There you guys have it.
All right, peace out, guys.
All right, fellas. Thanks.
See ya.
Guys.